Alright guys, hey guys, welcome back to this is a review for the Hulk. I know it's been a while, so we'll try to keep this good and plenty. Anyway, I finished Hulk and everything, and as usual, these are my opinions, not facts. They're nothing of the fact. I'm gonna do my 3 pros, 3 cons, and I'll give my final verdict. Again, please, this is just opinion. Do not get upset if you don't like it. State your opinion, but don't get all upset about it. So anyway, let's do this. All right, so we're gonna start with pros. All right, one of the first pros I like about this game is the switch between Bruce and Hulk. The fact that you can switch between Hulk and Bruce a matter of mission by mission, and sometimes not even just by mission, it's in a mission. It's really interesting. It makes it kind of breaks the combat from Hulk to stealth Bruce to weakling Bruce or whatever. Kind of makes it interesting. I do like the fact that you get to do that instead of being I don't know always Hulk and always bad. You know what I mean? It makes it not bad, but badass. Like, it makes it interesting. I like it. Second pro. CGI movies. The CGI movies in this is actually really good for what the time it came out. I'm not 100% sure when it came out. 90s, early 2000s. But the CGI is actually really good. There ain't many of them, but when they are there, they look good, graphically wise. I mean, I played mine on PC, but I don't think it really would mattered at the time. I don't know, but the CGI movies are really good for its time, and I only put this out because, like I said, in the time, you wouldn't think this. The gameplay itself, the graphics ain't the greatest, but the CGI movies are really good. And the final pro I'm going to have to give out is fighting as Hulk. Fighting as Hulk is interesting. It's fun. It's kind of limited in its own way, but I don't think that's much of a con because the combat itself is fun with him. Different type of monsters have different type of grapples. You can grapple them and do different types of devastating blows or hurts with them, depending on the person. If you use a human, he can throw them around. If you pick up a big machine, he can break their back. You know, it's kind of cool how each one does it differently. And not only that, you do feel like you're strong because your devastating strikes and your special powers. After you get so much rage, you can either do a supersonic clap, or you can do like a powerful explosion on the ground, which is which one I use the most. And if there's more, I'm sorry I didn't see any more, but those are the two I found. And it's really fun and makes you feel like really strong as Hulk himself. And the fact that you can pick up objects and destroy things, you can destroy a tank at some point in the game, really cool. So I really like that part of the fact that fighting as Hulk it makes you feel really, really badass. So those are the pros. Now we're gonna go to the cons. The first con that is a big con for me is infinity spawning enemies. This really, really ticked me off about the game. If you watch my gameplay, I ran throughout a lot of the missions because battling as Hulk is cool, but when you gotta do it over and over and over and over and over, it gets boring. They don't stop spawning, they keep spawning constantly. I mean, the parts where they don't just respawn, I did sit and fight, which was really cool. I did like doing that. But the points where it just kept spawning, it bored me and irritated me and frustrated me. If they didn't have the infinity spawning enemies, it'd be good. If they just had a set amount come out and fight you, or have a set amount come out eventually and they disappear, They don't. They just keep coming until you're either dead or you get out of the area, which frustrates me in the game. Other than that, yeah. Another con is the boss fights. Now, a lot of you hardcore gamers are gonna be like, "Oh yeah, it's just pick on the boss fights, blah 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 blah. You're wimpy. You can't deal with the hard difficulties of the game. You wimp." Well, guess what? I can deal with difficult games. I play a lot of my games on hard, and I can play my games, some of them on even the hardest difficulty of them all. And I can tell you right now, these boss fights are more frustrating than they should be. The fact that you have to face the first stage, beat that first stage, and then when you're done with that first stage, you go to a second stage of the fight. And that second stage, you're as weak as you were from the first stage. Frustrating. And some of the fights, like, you've got to face the guy that can suck out energy, and that energy guy, you can't touch him. You touch him, he hurts you. So you have to use objects, which is cool. But, I mean, he does so much damage to you when you pick up items, and you barely do any damage to him. It's frustrating. Boss fights shouldn't be that hard. The final boss fight was pretty frustrating himself. Do not like that. I don't mind a challenge, don't get me wrong, but don't make 2 stages. The first stage of and it was every boss fight. Once you defeat him, he'd be a more powerful version, full health, while you have no health. If they drop some health, like a little health pack would bring you like half health, cool. That'd have made the boss fight fine. But there's no health packs in some of them, so you have to make sure you do it perfectly good the first stage, or you lose the game. That's frustrating. That shouldn't be there. I don't like that. Again, this is my opinion. Don't like it. Too bad. The next one isn't much of a big pro or con compared to the other ones, but this one is one of the problems I have. Bruce being completely useless in fights. Of course, Bruce is a wimp. He's not Hulk. He's not going to be, "Oh yeah, I can kick your ass, blah 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 blah." But when you get into where you're in the Bruce fights, anytime you got caught, you were dead. There is no way. Especially if there's multiple of them. If there was one, you could fight your way and get out of it. But if there was 2 or even 3, good luck. If they had a gun, done. Didn't matter if there was one only. They would kill you every single time. It was so frustrating. They should have just made it where if you got caught, it was instant loss. You shouldn't have had a health pact at all. It was just caught, instant lose. Make it a little more. It'd be frustrating. But it wouldn't be to the point where you just want to break the controller because you can't even fight out of it. You can't. It's almost pointless. You just want to pause and reset the mission anyway, and I tell you what, that is not what I want to do all the time either. So, again, Bruce being completely useless is just, it's the facts. He is useless in fights, and he is a pain in the ass in the fights. So those are my pros and cons of this game and everything. And so those are my pros and cons. My final verdict of this game, I'm gonna have to give Hulk a 3 out of a 5. It's not, and that means it's an okay. It's just fine. It's not frustrating. It's not bad. It's not terrible. For the game of its age and the way when it came out, it's good. For the game of the past, it's good. It's not great, a game that I would say buy this instantly. If you have this laying around, or if you know a friend that has it and you're looking for a game to have fun and you don't mind going back to the past, this is not a bad game. I do not think it's terrible. It has its frustrating moments, and it can get kind of frustrating at times, but it's still good, and it's still fun. Like I said, I give it a 3 out of a 5. It's an okay rating. Not terrible, not good, but okay. Anyway, that's my review. I will be playing Binding of Isaac for my next game, and I will see you guys soon. Later.